Now, this section will be the same as this morning, Phowa practice, but I will review a little bit about Phowa, and we will practice together some more. And again, remember to visualize correctly. For the Phowa practice, the visualization is very important. So make sure that you understand and correctly when we do the practice. And as we have already discussed in the practice of transference, there are two kind of steps, right? Training and actual Phowa. For the first practicing or training on the Phowa transference, we train until we have the signs, of success, right? We have to practice over again and again until we have this signs, outer inner secret signs. But after that also, usually in Tibet, the teachers, meditators, even though they succeed, practice Phowa, but also do not do not forget, do not leave there, but always sort of recite the practice and remember the visualizations, at least do the visualization as much as you can. So mostly I think it's helpful if you practice Phowa, the three recognitions, we call that three recognition Phowa practice. As a Phowa practitioner, these are very important to keep in mind and remember. So the recognitions, three recognitions Phowa practice, the recognition of our central channel as the path, right? Path. This time we don't need to visualize three channels. So just visualize the middle channel, the central channel. That is a kind of path. And in order to this is we call sort of the channel is a path, right? Because in order to go to a sort of particular destination, we need a sort of good path. So the Phowa practice, the path is central channel, going straight up the body from the navel area to the top of our head. That's the first, the central channel, the path. And the second is recognition of our consciousness as the traveler. And the last, the recognition of the environment of Buddha realm as the destination. So we call it three recognitions. When we practice Phowa, based on the three recognitions, from the point of view of conventional reality, our ordinary way of thinking, we are sending the consciousness to a sort of pure land, Buddha, this Buddha Amitabhas, and from the point of view ultimate reality, we are sending our consciousness into the Dharmakaya, right? two ways we can practice this, either way. So we can rely on either of these two views, relative or ultimate Phowa, depend on our level of experience, right? This Phowa practice, three recognition of Phowa practice, is the most easiest. Then the Dharmakaya, the ultimate Phowa, is not that easy, right? But I think first we, for instance, we practice Phowa using these three metaphors, and also we can practice Dharmakaya and Phowa together, I think. For example, when we say shooting of our consciousness to the Buddhas, and then dissolve there, and then we say we don't need to visualize nothing, just relax and look at your mind very deeply and directly, and without any thoughts, and just to relax. At that moment you can see the awareness and the reality of the emptiness, the nature of everything, So that is kind of, practice Dharmakaya and Phowa. So we can do both. But the Phowa practice, it's very, Milarepa said that Phowa is a path that can be practiced by those who don't have lots of experience, or who are not highly sort of skilled at meditation. Because, Phowa practice that anyone can do, and very important. You can see these instructions. For instance, when you think about the three recognitions, if you believe that your consciousness and body are two different things, then when we they are start separate, then we have to think about it, our next rebirth, right? So I am going to teach you about our consciousness after our consciousness leave our body. What will happen? I will teach you this in the Bardo. That's about the Bardo, right? So you will learn in more, and you will see what will happen in the intermediate state. So that's we called, when you died, and then most people just don't believe that, when you died, that's your end of your life. But Buddhist point of view, and these great meditators can see through their meditation in the future, so they can see the consciousness goes into intermediate state, and the experience of the intermediate beings, So not only once, not twos, all these great meditators, hundreds of thousands meditators, same thing, teach on these things. So I think we have to really prepare and think about our future rebirth also, I think, very important. So if you think that's very important, then this Phowa practice is very, very important, So, and this is a very good good method. It's very kind of simple, but it's very profound and easy to focus. Can you see when you meditate on Phowa, for instance, if you visualize the central channel and focus on your first syllable, that is represent your consciousness, and you can invest it. You can see that there is no other thoughts. When you really focus on that, you are there. You are there. Your mind is there. You focus on that. So that's the meditation. Because usually our minds wander everywhere. So many thoughts arise after another like that. But when you really focus on practicing Phowa like that, visualize, and you are there. So this is a very good method, and that's why I think the great meditators say Phowa practice is very important. Phowa is a practice of yoga and meditation that has been used for centuries, long time, to help the dying and to prepare for death. So I think that's the purpose of Phowa practice, is to help dying and prepare of death. I think that's all. So if you think this is very important, then we have to practice continually. Because the principle is that at the moment of death, the practitioner ejects his or her consciousness and merge it with the wisdom mind of Buddha. That is kind of, the practice Guru Yoga, right? In what Padmasambhava calls the space of unborn Rigpa, he calls that. When you reject your consciousness and dissolve into the Buddha's wisdom mind, that's Padmasambhava calls the space of unborn Rigpa. So if you're doing this practice, as you're coming sort of close to death, just very important, just, as very comfortably as you are able. And important point is that you consider the being you are visualizing, or who sort of really presence you feel is the embodiment of the truth, wisdom, and compassion of all the Buddha teachers, masters, and enlightened beings. But also don't worry if you can't sort of visualize them very clearly. Sometimes, very pain and, lots of happen, right? So we can't really visualize very clearly, vividly. So, but you have to sort of, you should feel your heart with their presence and trust that they're there, whoever you believe, and you have a sort of strong connection, you just trust that they're. And another thing you need to know is that how can you use sort of this practice to help someone who is dying. The view and the practice, the Phowa, right, exactly same. When you try to help other who are dying, the same. But the only difference is that you visualize, usually right now we visualize our central channel, the green bindu, and seed syllable, the shah syllable. All these are, right now we are visualized in our body, right? But when you help others who has died, you visualize not this, the central channel and green bindu shah syllable. This you have to visualize this person's body, not in your body. To understand, that is different. Um, and also, we right now visualize Buddha Amitabha above your head, right? Our head. But when you help others, you have to visualize Buddha Amitabha above their head, right? And then do the Phowa practice. And after that, you can sort of visualize, imagine that rays of light goes down into the dying person, and you visualize purifying his or her whole negative karma, and then dissolve into light and merge into the Buddha Amitabha. That's how you help. The rituals and the view, the visualizations, same, right? How you say the shah syllable, or these are same, but the difference is the central channel and the shah syllable. If this person, the best time, remember, the outer breath stopped and still their consciousness in there. That's the best time. But if you help sort of this person, he or she died already like 2-3 days, then maybe their consciousness is not there, right? So what should we do then? Then there is in Tibet we have a special, another Rachel, you say this Rachel and this person's consciousness brain. If you have a capacity, to do this, you through these visualizations and say these Rachels, this person's consciousness bring back the body, in their body, and then you practice Phowa. But we don't have that ritual here. But if the person is not completely dying, then you don't have to do that because their consciousness already there, and you just practice Phowa, and then that's fine, right? But this person's died like 2-3 days or 1 week ago, then probably the consciousness is not there, wander somewhere, maybe intermediate state or whatever, I don't know. So then you have to bring sort of, this consciousness back into the body, and then you visualize the central channel, all of this. There are lots of stories about these things in Buddhism, Tibet. Most important is when you can help, when person just the right time. Right time is the inner breath still continues. That's the right time. Then really we can help, and if the dying person knows you are going to, you're helping, you're practice, you're going to do this practice for this person, and knows what it is, it can be great source of sort of inspiration and comfort. You can say, I'm going to, if this person is a Buddhist, then you can say, I'm going to help you and practice Phowa. You should let everything go, and you just be mindful and remember your teacher's instructions. You tell them, and then you do this, right? If this person is not Buddhist, then you just what you need pure motivation and great compassion. Think about this person's next rebirth and great devotion with your lineage. Then you say this, you practice Phowa. And then if this person is not Buddhist, it's fine. I think it depends your motivation, depends your devotion, your compassion. It will really great benefit. It depends your motivation. So that's when we practice Phowa, we're teaching Phowa. We talk lots about death, right? Because death is part of our life. So it will certainly happen. When I these days thinking about my teachers and those old monks in monastery right now, they're all gone. It's just something. It's really happening. Now I'm sort of getting there. When I was a monastery and was kind of young and never think about these things. And this great teachers and monks and yogis there and their practice and teach and all the time, but I didn't think that's just not so important. But now when I think about and all these great teachers, almost all gone. And now when I think about the monastery, those monks are just my age, all my age. Like we're getting there. So this has certainly happened. So we have to really think about it. The death can happen at any time, and then this is not really end of our life, So we have to think about it, make sure it will better. So the point is, at the time of death, a peaceful mind is important. At the moment of death, we really should not. We should, try not to sort of feel anger, hatred, or other sort of, the negative emotions. Especially, do not attach to the family, the property, everything. We need to let go everything. And focus our meditation, and it's really better to pass away in a peaceful manner. So the only thing we need to do at the time of death is to remember the essence of teachings, and practice the instructions. That's the most important. If you attach to your property, your friends, your whatever, even though your body doesn't just it's harm you, it's not help. Anyway, we are living, right? Our consciousness live in our body, our property, everything. We go behind everything, live in everything. So no matter if you touched or desire, it doesn't help. So just let go everything and be very peaceful and think about instructions, meditations. That's very important. If the time comes when you cannot sort of practice actively, the only really important thing for you to do is to relax and to stay calm, rest in the nature of mind if possible. It doesn't matter whether our body or our brain are still functioning. So the nature of our mind is always there. So we can do that. Because if you think about the nature of your mind, there is nothing new sort of you need to learn it or understand. So just let yourself be more and more sort of nature. That's all. More and more calm, more and more peaceful nature. And especially we believe that, the rebirth, right? Rebirth in karma. Then a good state of mind at the time of death is very, very beneficial, very important.
I just have a quick question. When you talk about peaceful mind at the time of death, in the West, it's really common that people get medications when they're going through the dying process. How does having medications affect our ability to transfer consciousness, and should we consider not taking sedating medications?
It depends. If this person is very pain, suffering, then better take the medication. It makes calm and peace, right? Maybe that helps you can think and remember your instructions. If you are not, suffering, then you don't need to take this. Just die naturally is the best. My grandmother was just die very naturally, no suffering, no pain, just like sleep, I was there, and I told her. First, I thought you were going to die, but then I thought maybe he will sort of get panicked, so I just didn't tell him. Maybe you are going to die, maybe you are not. We never know, but doesn't matter. You have to think about your instructions, think about your teacher. I'm here, and I'm going to recite these prayers and this and that. You have to visualize this and that. And she can't speak, but she understood, She did like this, and then I say important Dzogchen prayers and this. It's amazing. When I finished, she died, like that. That's that kind of person. You don't need really medication. There's chemicals in your body not so good, especially in your culture when you died and they do something, right? Looks better, and it's stupid. I think that's you. If you can write that. I don't need that kind of thing. They put your lots of chemical in your body, and then they say, "Oh, my family came and see me, and this looks like you are not dying, right?" They can do that. But I think that's not a good idea. So just, where the nature is the best, die naturally, and, I think I don't know. So I think, whatever, it's a peaceful, and to remember your instructions, that's, I think, the most important. And not sort of let a desire and attachment. These are very difficult, right? So just let go, try to let go. Then I think you will be just fine. And we practice a lot Dharma, right? This is the perfect time to prepare. So if you practice Dharma a lot, then we should be able to understand all the situation, both good and bad, So uh, we should, I think about the instructions all the time. Otherwise, we can't remember if we get really sick. And my teacher, Khenpo Rinpoche, he got sick and he went to hospital. He didn't like go there, and the student just kind of pushed him, and then he went there. And when the doctor is not there, he shows, kind of sick. And then when doctor came in, she's nothing. He's just because he didn't like to stay in hospital. He want to. It's amazing story. It's really meditations. It's just amazing. So he went to hospital and he got sick, and a few monks with him. And then the doctors came and he said, he kind of looks like got kind of angry. Why you guys come here? I'm fine. I'm not sick at all. And then they can't do anything. They just went back, and then he kind of again gets sick like that. And then 3 days after that, he said, tomorrow, he told the monk, and you go now, buy a plane ticket. I want to go to Lhasa, the Sami monastery. Pamasamba was the first he built it, right? Tibet, first monastery in Tibet, Sami monastery. I want to go there tomorrow. And then he went there, and he passed away there. It's amazing. It's amazing. So he knows, these kind of practitioners really know what happened exactly. But I don't know. So the Phowa practice, so it's very important, right? So just in case, we never know what will happen, young or old or whatever, we never know. So that's why I think it's very important to prepare right now. Yeah?
Another thing about Westerners is they seem to often report at the moment of death rising above their body and looking down at themselves. Is there anything in any way similar in Buddhism, or is that just sort of a different culture's way of interpreting what's happening? These are people that died and then came back, were brought back to life.
Yes,
they
that's...
report that they've risen above their bodies. Is that basically their consciousness?
That's happened all the time. But we'll talk about these things in Bardo teachings,
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a good question. I know about those things. Okay, time to practice, Phowa. So, the best way to meditate, no thoughts between when you shoot your consciousness, leave your body. It's amazing, right? Leave your body, dissolve Buddha Amitabha's mind, if you call it, or the nature. And then you are not visualizing, right? You are not visualizing. just your consciousness coming back. When you say God, you're not visualize, okay? You need to know that. You visualize your consciousness goes into Amitabha's room, but if you feel still your mind and everything here, that's not correct, right? So once your consciousness goes there, nothing here. Nothing here. You are completely there, right? And then coming back, and you here. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are here. There's not two things. And then you say, God. This time, you just look at and focus on the sh syllable. So two different things there. Sh syllable, if you focus on the sh syllable, there's no other thoughts. This helps your mind calm and relaxed and stable. Then without thoughts, say immediately, this time your consciousness went to there. So here, now, in your body, there is no consciousness. Right? Otherwise, if you have two consciousness, one is goes there, but still this is here, something here. When you do actual practice, then it doesn't work that. You know? Understand?
When you start the process again of focusing on the sure syllable, if you're visualizing yourself as Vajrayogini though, but when you start over again, then you're playing the drum, Buddha Amitabha is there, boom.
Once you visualize Vajrayogini once, then that's enough.
You just leave her alone then.
Yeah, you are Vajrayogini.
So you don't keep on using the visualization as your object.
But you are cat, right? So you are cat. So all the time I am a cat. Okay, I have this jewelry and this. And that. You're not thinking that, right? You are cat. So always you are. You just how you are. You don't need to visualize that over and over again, right? So same thing. Once a Vajrayogini, you are become a Vajrayogini, then you are Vajrayogini. So you don't have to visualize all the time. I mean, that's kind of, your visualization is still there, then you don't have to visualize. But once you visualize Vajrayogini, after that you think, oh, I'm a kid. Then you have to visualize Vajrayogini again, right? But if you don't have those thoughts, then you just don't need. But the sh syllable and focus on the consciousness, green bindu, this you have to visualize all the time. Up, coming, and then, especially this green bindu is really helpful for me. When a green bindu is like an arrow, and then shoot the consciousness, sh syllable, and then boom, Also, you have their hole, right? Open your aperture, and then your consciousness went there. So there's no consciousness. So you have to feel that. You have to experience that. Otherwise, you're doing two things. Somebody's, there's kind of, somebody's visualized. And your consciousness went there, but still this person, this somebody visualize all these things still there. So you have two different things, two different person. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult.
Well, when we do this practice, one, we're here. When our mind merges with Amitabha, can we stay there longer than we've been doing in our practice? Is that I have this
It depends
feeling like I want to just
it depends your capacity, right? So if you recognize that nature, and then no thoughts arise, then you can stay there longer, right? But if sometimes our thoughts arises, then we can't just immediately say ka, come back. Otherwise, you just it's very nice if you can recognize in the nature of the Buddha Amitabha's mind, the nature of emptiness. And then you just focus on that. You don't have to say immediately God, just as much as you can focus on that. Meditate on that. And then once your thoughts and other disturb arise, then say God and come back, and then focus on the syllable as much as you can. And when thoughts arise, then don't follow that and immediately say, yeah.
Could you clear the breathing again? You were describing that earlier when you're doing the first part. Are you breathing out or holding your breath, or?
Well, it's actually it depends. If you are comfortable, I can do that. It's one process. I can do entire things. Without breathe in and out. But if you have a sort of sometimes people breathe all the time, right? Very shortly. So then you can hold. So just breathe in and out. That's no problem.
If I focus on my breathing, when I meditate, I usually focus on my full breath in and my full breath out. Is that double thinking, or is that all right?
Usually, you mean this time?
Well, not this time. I've been doing it different, but when I focus on my breath, I focus on it all the way down till it gets to the end, and then I focus all the way out till I'm totally
Yes.
exhausted. That's how I do it. Is that wrong?
No, not wrong. That's normal. That's very nature, right? Usually we do that. Breathe in and then breathe out, but we're not aware of that. So right now when you meditate, you focus on breathe in and out. That's nothing wrong.
Is it important at all to think of just feel how others are progressing at the same moment? I keep feeling kind of self-conscious about yelling out when I'm not in sync or something. You know what I mean? Or sometimes I feel like I'm ready to yell out, and nobody else seems to be,
I was gonna actually, that was my comment too. I get really distracted doing this practice in a group environment because I feel like my timing's off too with the rest of the group. So I'm trying to do it silently and just really focus on my own. But then when everybody goes like that, my mind goes.
Why can't you follow everybody?
It's the noise, or I don't know. Oh, I can follow, but still, when everyone does their thing, there's something that happens in my mind. It distracts me.
Should we be
I
in
could do
sync?
it by myself better.
Do groups sync up when they do that?
Distract. How distract?
Well, because everybody's going "Whee!" like this, and it's loud, and I mean, my mind goes with that.
Yeah.
I hear it, and it goes "Whew," off with them.
That means you are not focused on your practice,
Right.
right?
In the
So
group,
if
it's
you
hard.
you practice on your mind and the syllable and dissolve into Amitabha's, visualize that. This whatever we say loud, this doesn't harm you.
Yeah.
If you really focus on your
It's the
practice,
afternoon. I'm having a hard time.
you don't need to think about what others doing, right?
Right.
You focus on there, then it's difficult. But you focus on your practice, then I think it's not that. But you have to practice together. That's why I'm saying there is the group energy, this practice, Phowa practice, group energies, really. No. The most benefit is the But whenever we say hey, you have to say same time. So if you, maybe the problem is the first time I said when you say sh, and then don't breathe out, right? So maybe that's the problem. So everybody, sometimes people are saying the slow, right? Slow, you can't hold your breath, right? So that's the problem. Maybe you should breathe out and then breathe in whatever you want. You breathe in and out, but you have to say and practice the first syllable together.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Otherwise, people are going slow, then you're fast, and your syllable already there,
Yeah, hanging out.
there, and
Everybody
you think,
else.
oh, I cannot breathe out, and then you can't hold it, and then you have a problem.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's happened. You are faster than others.
I'm ready to shoot it out.
Yeah, ready to shoot up, but why you can't stop there for a while and then just
Take out.
I have the same issue. It'd be nice if there was some lights that counted up. That way you could get to the red light and. 'Cause
that's why I'm saying that we have to say 5 times the syllable
5 times.
together. Then we are same. The time is same. The 5 times. Some people say more than that. Some people less say like 5 times. Then we are not together.
Yeah.
So when we say you can count that. I can count that 5 times, and then you also measure that your syllable. Make sure there within the
Yeah.
5 times, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't say more than 5 times. Don't say less than that. So then we're together, and then ready to say.
Almost like having a metronome, tick. But then the fifth one, then there's a pause. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, then. See.
I don't think I have paused there. I said. I just say the last syllable, then immediately say hey,
Oh. Okay.
because my syllable already there. So you have to say immediately. Otherwise, sometimes your thoughts arise between that, fifth, and then the shoot between that. Then your thoughts bothers, and you're not there, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so that's why I say there is no time to breathe out.
Right.
So if you breathe in and out very shortly, then we should say faster. So like syllable, we can say faster. Like that, within one breath.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying?
So the ka is not gonna return at the same time for everyone, because it would really, it's not like that needs to be part of the group practice.
That's fine. Ka, when you say ka, it's just.
That's for each person, right?
Yeah, I think some people just can't hold longer, and not bother their breathe out. You can't longer, and then focus on that, the merge, the union of the mind, right? Some people focus on that and recognize and very enjoy there. So then there is no need to say immediately ka. Some people just want to say like ka, immediately say like that also. So there are many ways you can.
Is the ka sound an actual letter from the Tibetan alphabet, or is it just an ah sound because ah is a
No,
dropping
it's a
sound?
ka.
Ka.
Yeah.
Does it have a meaning?
No, this time, two traditions, one say hik, hi. So that you don't have to say ka, because you already say hik. Hik is the sound like her, and then ka sounds like hik, right? Right? We're saying hi, right? Not hik. If you say hik, then you already say ka together. Then you don't have to. But this time we divide into these two syllables. So he and ka, right? So I don't think this ka. Just say how your consciousness come back. That's for that. That's why you say ka. Understand?
Thank you. So
5 times. Should we say faster?
So we holding our breath, I'm sorry, but are we holding our breath while we're going?
Holding.
We're holding our breath. And then
Using, see, let me do, and then you watch me, okay? I'll do one time. So, 5 times, right? So, if you can longer hold your breath, I can hold more longer than that, but if you can't, just say.
So you take a breath initially? You take a breath initially and then you start while holding your breath?
After say ka,
Okay.
and then, then whatever you say ka, and then you can breathe in and out, maybe few times. Maybe you are a little bit tired. You hold this entire sort of, this process, and then.
So are we starting does the visualization start down here at the navel and go up, or are we starting at the heart?
You visualize central channel once, and then focus on your syllable, which is the heart center. So once you visualize Vajrayogini or yourself, then you visualize central channel. So that's the kind of permanently there. So you don't have to think over again. So once you, but more you need to focus on the syllable. Syllable all the time, moving up and, up and down, right? So that's what focus on that. So the central channel already there. Understand? Just focus on the heart center, the green bindu, and syllable all the time. Focus on that. Yeah.
I talked to Kate about this a little bit, and then since we're working as a group, I keep seeing that, like, this circle right next to the should. It just stuck in my
She's
head.
seeing the Tama dots,
I can't.
circles.
I see the.
Oh, syllable.
To the right of the shoot, and so if we're working as a group, it keeps popping. So.
Yeah, then that's
You're
fine.
okay?
You can do that.
Because okay.
It's fine.
I said nothing.
It's
Not a
fine.
thing.
No problem. Okay, any question? Ready?
One more quick one.
Yeah.
It's the Shri syllable because that's the seed syllable of Amitabha, right? Is that why the consciousness is in that form? That's the seed syllable?
No, usually a syllable, this time, just to represent your consciousness, but also Amitabha Buddha's seed syllable, heart syllable.
His heart syllable.
Yep.
If I see in the picture, you have those 3 channels, you only can use one, huh?
One, yeah, central channel.
Yeah, because he was.
No, the others, no, but we can't find good pictures, so that's there. All right. You're doing very well, even though I practiced this many times, but we are same, just, all different Phowa practice. There's 3 recognitions, right? 3 recognitions there, Phowa. And then the Dharmakaya Phowa is there when you say, hey, your consciousness dissolve into the Buddhas, and you recognize that your Buddha nature, right? Buddha nature is there, so Dharmakaya Phowa is there. And then this also we visualize deity, Amitabha, and this two stages meditation, the union kind of, the development stage, and that's Sambhogakaya Phowa, right? So this is, and then if you want to focus on the first syllable, do you visualize the Tibetan syllable or English? So you can, that's good, we have pictures. So very visualize the focus on the first syllable and kind of sparkling, the lightning, it's a really red first syllable. Focus on that, and that's really makes my mind very calm and no thoughts, relax. That's very nice practice there. And so it looks like this Phowa practice has, if you know, is Dharmakaya Phowa, Sambhogakaya Phowa, Nirmanakaya Phowa, and then the three recognition Phowa. Maybe the hook of compassion Phowa is not there. Okay, one more. Last. Soha. Om Guru Sede Hum Amarane Gawantaye Soha. Om Guru Ayar 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 Sede Hum Amarane Gawantaye Soha. Guru Ayar Sede Hum Amarane Gawantaye Soha. Om 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 Guru Ayar Sede Hum Amarane Gawantaye Soha. When you visualize Amitabha Buddha, right, yourself, you become a Amitabha Buddha. So what do? Then say this mantra, then with the visualization. So you are Buddha Amitabha, and then at your heart center, rays of light, five different colors, or just only one color from your Buddha Amitabha's heart, and goes everywhere, all over the world. And think about the suffering of this world, people, obstacles, their life, purify that. That's you need to focus on, okay? Om Guru Ayar Sede Hum Amarane Gawantaye Soha. 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 taye so